Good morning, everyone. We're live from Houston, Texas. My name is Drew Imborski, and this is Live with Captain Housekeeper. Today is Monday, August 20th, and this is show number 81. I hope you all updated your apps this week, because when I got up this morning, Tamaya's decided to start barking. Shh, Daddy's working. Because when I got up this morning, both my phone and my iPad had updates on them, so I don't want you to get locked up. Did you notice the camera started rocking there for a second? That was Tamaya walking past. She's on a diet, let's put it that way. So anyway, so as you can see, I'm sitting in front of the wall of shame. You know, I keep saying I wanted to shoot every direction of my studio, right? So I got a bee in my bonnet over the weekend that I needed to shoot from every angle of my studio, no matter the condition, because it's just the way it is. So I posted a picture of this last week on Instagram, and you know, and people were saying, oh, if that's the only part of your house that's messy, don't worry about it. It's like, no. There are a lot more walls of shame throughout my house. So anyway, this is a strategy I've always had, and it's worked very well for me in the past, especially when I first moved to this house. And you know, you get unpacked to a certain point where you can live in the house, but there's always like 15 boxes you don't seem to get unpacked, right? They're, you know, knickknacks and stuff. So what I do when that case happens is I put the boxes in my way, so that the only way that I can really be happy and comfortable is if I actually process those boxes. So what I've done today is I put this in the way, because this isn't what I want in the background of my videos. I want it to be tidy and decorated and look really nice, and maybe have a workstation over there. So what I've done is I've set up a little chair, put the ring light right here, and I'm shooting on the wall of shame. I'm blocking a lot of it with my body because I want to get rid of it. So I figured by putting it in my way, that'll encourage me to get rid of it. So it's just a strategy. Oh, good morning, Captain Charles. Good to see you. I have my comments over here, so if you see me looking over here, I tried putting my glasses on, but they're too reflective, so I couldn't wear them. So, good morning, Captain Terry in Katy, Texas, Captain Cheryl, Captain Kristen, Captain DJ. Oh, it's good to see all of you. Poor Captain Diana, missed the beginning. That's okay. You know, you can go back and watch it later. That's what it's being recorded for. Yes, Captain Diana, you can help me stay on track and keep me accountable. Actually, I feel that's the other thing, is I feel like this is a priority, because this is one of the rooms that phase 2 of the floor problem being fixed. This is one of the rooms I'm going to have to pack up. You know, and I'm going to have to move stuff out of here, packed away, and then unpack it afterwards. And I really, really don't want to pack anything that's, you know, can be processed out of my life, because, like I said, this is like an archaeological dig. You know, there's leftover stuff from different projects through the years. So it just needs to be processed, whether it's donated or I use it for something else, or I do a giveaway on my Crochet Dude blog or whatever, you know. It just needs to be processed. So Captain Terry says one box each day. Yep, that's a great strategy. I love that, because you never want to be overwhelmed by a project. If you can get in there and dive in and have a lot of fun and do a whole bunch in one day, that's fantastic. But if you just have 5 minutes to do one box each day, it's amazing how quickly you gain traction. Like Captain Cheryl. Remember one time when we were having breakfast, she shared that book she had discovered called Decluttering at the Speed of Life. And essentially what that means is that you're decluttering at the rate you can go. Whatever makes sense in your life. I still haven't read the book, Captain Cheryl, but I plan to, because I love the concept of decluttering at the speed of life. And Captain Taro, you're right. One box each day would really do a lot. So anyway, so we're in front of the wall of shame. This actually makes me happy because I want to shoot this direction in my studio. So now I'm doing it. It's not that pretty, but I'm doing it. So that's an accomplishment too. Captain Charles says, I used the how to eat an elephant analogy, just one bite at a time. That's true. It is overwhelming sometimes to look at the big picture. You know, it's good to have a goal. It's good to look at the big picture so that you can break it down into logical steps, but you can't focus on the big picture. I learned that when I worked in an office in Dallas. I was an assistant to the director of internal medicine at UT Southwestern. It was a pretty big job with a lot of moving parts. I essentially had to track all these med students that were in the grade that we taught and track everything they were doing. So there's a lot of moving parts. It was a big picture thing. There were dates we had to hit, like exams that had to be prepared and then given and blah blah blah, all these things. So what I discovered is that if I looked at the big picture at that time, I couldn't get anything done. But if I looked over the big to-do list and I transferred like 3 doable things to a separate to-do list, put the big to-do list away, then I was able to check off 3 things from that list that day without getting overwhelmed. It was like eating the elephant one bite at a time. That's a great analogy, Charles. Thank you for sharing that, because I think that's going to get stuck in my head today. I love that. Oh, good morning, Captain Sandra. It's good to see you. I'm sorry I have to look over here. I have my iPad over here. The way this is set up, there's no desk here because I'm on a chair. So anyway, so I hope you had a good weekend. I watered sod all around my house several times. It did rain once, which helped assist in it, but it's just so hot and dry right now. It's August. Like the guy said, it's the worst time to put sod down in Houston. You want to do it in the fall or the spring. You don't want to do it in August. But that was just part of the process. So keeping it watered, so that was good. I was supposed to learn everything there is to know about football this weekend. I don't know. Football just isn't a priority. So I actually forgot to do it. Honestly, I forgot to look at, I don't know, ESPN. Is that where you learn how to do footballs? I don't know. So I didn't get my fantasy league put together. Apparently that's coming up though. I think my cousin said the deadline was September 4th. So I need to get a grip on the football league. Whatever that means. Captain Kristen says, I've been giving myself the same advice as I write new books right now. One little thing at a time. And it all adds up, doesn't it? And I think it's worth taking a moment as you do each little thing. And, you don't have to celebrate it, but at least acknowledge it, right? It's like, yes, I checked that off the list. I never have to do that again. Good for me. Moving on. Forward momentum. I know some people, and I'm a little guilty of it, but not as bad as some people I know. They like to beat themselves up for what they don't do instead of just focusing on what you do, Get something done, check it off the list. Doesn't matter it's been on the list for 2 years. Or 3 or 5, just check it off the list and get her done. That's, there's no sense fussing. Captain Sandra suggests Googling Football 101. I might have to do that. I know the basics of football, but I wouldn't know. Like I went to that pro game 2 years, I think it was 2 years ago now. I was like, are you kidding? What's going on? I have no idea. In high school football, it was a lot more, fun, to be honest. Captain Kristen likes, Captain Charles, you're so funny too. That cracks me up. Captain Kristen says she color codes her list for pretty positive reinforcement. Yeah, isn't that nice? Why have an ugly to-do list? And I will admit to you right now, I cannot have digital to-do lists. Get off my lawn. I don't know. Maybe I've had computers my entire life practically. They came in when I was still in high school, word processors and all that. But when it comes to a to-do list, I cannot do it on a computer. I can't do it on an iPad or a phone. I've downloaded so many apps to help me with my to-do list that, they ping me. They're constantly telling me, got to work on this, and that's great. I love it. I love the concept. If I don't write it down on a piece of paper, I don't make a piece of paper to-do list, I don't do anything on it. It's the weirdest thing. It's like I don't have a connection with the digital to-do list. But if I write it on a physical to-do list, I'm connected to it. It's like I remember it, and I feel really good crossing things off. In fact, if I do something that wasn't on the to-do list, I'll write it on the to-do list just to cross it off. I'm admitting so many things this morning that I've never told anyone. Yes, Captain Terry says, brain research says that the brain loves color. I'm sure it does. It's very stimulating. And so making a happy to-do list with happy colors, or colors that make you, turn you on, absolutely. Why wouldn't you want to look at your to-do list? Writing something in the color that you love, in a notebook that's the color that you love, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Kind of reminds me of, what was that movie called? Legally Blonde? Did you ever see that? And everything she had was pink and puffy and furry. Just thought that was fantastic. She loved pink. She committed to it. And she got into Harvard. Captain Diana says, yes, I do that with my list. Makes it look like I got more done, even if it wasn't there and I added it after it was done. You did get more done. If you're really adding stuff you did, even though it wasn't on the to-do list, you are getting more done. I think crossing it off is my reward. That's my little mini celebration. Yay! So yeah, so I didn't do the football thing. But I'm going to get on that because football is very important to me. I want to win this fantasy league. I want to beat all my cousins that I've never met before except the one. That's my introduction to my extended family. I know nothing about football, but I just kick some butt. Why not? So my strategy with this wall of shame is I'm going to incorporate what Captain Charles and Captain Terry said. I'm going to do little bite-sized pieces with this elephant. I really want to process this too. I want the freedom of moving forward. And this is looking backwards a couple of years. So I'm going to move forward and I'm going to keep it in my way. And in fact, the other thing I have that is a waste of money, and I don't like to waste money at all, is during this period when I used to do trade shows and consumer shows, I had to have a pallet of equipment. And so there was no way to store that in my home because I don't have any space here for that size of equipment. And so it was very logical for my business to rent a storage unit not too far from here. It's about a mile from here. And most of the equipment that I would take on the road with me for these shows is in there. And also when I used to have my own line of yarns, I would fulfill it out of that storage unit because I'd have all the yarn separated by categories in there. But I sold off all that yarn when I decided to go a different direction with my business. So there's a lot of empty storage containers, and there's a lot of mannequins and stuff like that you would take to a consumer show. So I spend like $200 a month every month on a storage unit for stuff that I'm really probably not going to want to keep around too much longer. So I actually got a bee in my bonnet when I was thinking about this. I think I'm going to empty that storage unit into my dining room. It's a strategy that's worked before. And I'm just, I have this weird ability that out of sight is completely out of mind. The fact that storage unit is off site, it's items that I used to use periodically, not every day, but periodically. It's really easy for me to get things out of my mind. And so I don't like spending $200 a month on something I don't need. I'd rather use that on, oh my gosh, anything else, right? Keeping a good solid budget and keeping that budget working well is so important to running your household, right? You got to stay on budget, and that would really help a lot. $200 a month is a lot of money. So it made sense at the time, but it doesn't right now. So I think I just paid my September. You pay in advance for a full month. I paid my September, so I have until the end of September to get cleared out of there, and shut off that bill. So that seems like enough time, and get all my floors redone at the same time. Captain Diana says, do it half of it. Oh yeah, well that's a really good idea. So like I said, I have all of September to do it. Excuse me, what if I just split it into 4 pieces and do one a week? But bring it into my life, not try to do it over there, it's too hot, and not try to make any decisions over in the storage unit where emotions may run high. There's probably a lot of trash that I can get rid of also. But what if I brought over a quarter of it each week and then got it out of me? Because if it's in the way, I love having a dining room where I can eat dinner. I think that would work. I'm kind of fired up about it. But I do like your idea, Diana. Split it into pieces so it doesn't become overwhelming. Absolutely. Because overwhelming is never going to work. Captain Terry says, if I keep lists in a notebook, I can look back on all I've been able to accomplish. Oh, that's wonderful. It's kind of like a journal, isn't it? You can journal your progress by keeping your to-do list in a notebook. I love that. Because you accomplish so much. We accomplish so much. But maybe if we don't write it down, we don't realize how much we've accomplished. So, yay. I love that, Captain Terry. Good idea. Hey, Captain Laren's here. Hi, everybody. This sounds good. I'll have to catch up later on the replay. Well, I'm so happy to see you live, Captain Laren. Yeah, if you're new to the Captain Housekeeper YouTube channel, be sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, if you ring that little notification bell, you're supposed to get, yes, I said supposedly. I always think of Joey from Friends when I say it, so it makes me laugh. Supposedly, you're supposed to get a notification that I've gone live or put up a new video. Apparently, it's not 100% accurate because a lot of people don't get them. But give it a shot. Ring that notification bell. And also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up before you leave. 12 people here, 5 thumbs up. I love it. I appreciate it very much. So anyway, yeah, and also if you're new to this live streaming on YouTube, a couple things you want to remember is you can always go back and watch the replay. It won't be live, but you can watch the replay and you can look at the comments that people left. And also you can leave a comment in the comment section afterwards. If you have any questions about house stuff, or you'd like to ask me directly, please leave it in the comment section. I'm happy to answer your questions. I do have a playlist about tips and tricks where I've pulled some of the live shows out where I've given tips on house stuff. And you can go back and look at that playlist too. Anyway, Angela says, I used to have a storage building. I emptied the building and brought it all home. It was easier to downsize when you're tripping over it. We're on the same page, Angela. We are on the same page. Get it in the way. If you like, this is in the way now. I don't want that in the background of these videos. I love the beautiful backgrounds, right? And I don't want to sit here and the lighting's not that good. I want to sit over there, but I can't until this is cleared out. So we are on the same page. Captain Trout says, you put a reminder on your calendar so your phone reminds you. Oh, well, that's a good idea too. You can put a recurring reminder on your device too for the shows. Yeah, so when I get done here, this is what I'm going to do. When I get done here, I've already watered the sod. I have plenty of food in the house. Got caught up on my laundry over the weekend. So when I get finished here, I'm going to go finish a project I started over the weekend, which is filing the stuff that comes in the mail. I know a lot of people get their things electronically, but there's still things that come paper mail, and I let it build up a couple weeks. Broke my own rule of only touching it once. But there wasn't that much there because I do throw a lot of things away as soon as I come through the door with the mail. So I'm going to go clear off the dining room table of just a little bit of paperwork that needs to be filed. And then I'm going to eat lunch, and then I'm going to come in here and do something in here. I've done a lot. I've taken a lot of bags of trash. This used to be it would have been all around my head before. So I'm going to come back in here and work on this a little bit and then kind of strategize that storage unit situation. And then also I need to call the floor guy and get on the schedule to do the floors. Because once I'm on the schedule, then I'll have a date to work backwards from. Yeah, good idea, Charles. I love it. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for showing up today. I'm so happy to see you this bright Monday morning. Hopefully that won't be my background for too long. We'll see. I hate it. I don't want to look at it, but there it is. That'll help me get through it. So say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 11 a.m. Central in the USA. Bye-bye.